Okay, guys, great to have you. Again, appreciate you taking the time out this evening to hear what I have to say about entrepreneurship, success, personal development, motivation, growth hacking, business development, whatever it is. I have a lot to share with you this evening. So I'm going to get stuck in. We're just gone to 8 o'clock. We still have a few more places left. So we're not shy off the 100 mark. Typical Irish culture, we're going to have a few people coming in late all the same. So again, thanks very much. I appreciate taking your time out this evening to hear what I have to say about entrepreneurship. Again, this talk was originally 2 hours long, so I've really compressed this back down in order for you to get the absolute most value out of it. So up till 1:30 last night, changing, shifting, editing things in order to make sure you can get the most amount of value out of this content. So again, make sure you have a paper and pen. You're going to have loads and loads of ideas that you're going to be able to implement in your business. So guys, over the next hour, what are we going to discuss? We're going to discuss a systematic way to grow your sales in a predictable way by adding hundreds, tens of thousands per month to your bottom line. So this is something that I have a big passion in. This is something that I do in all our different companies. I'm the one that does all the puts in the sales and marketing funnels that's going to really allow that business to grow and to scale to another level. How to reduce your working hours by systemizing your business. This is a big one for me back in 5 or 6 years ago when I was the one driving the business forward. I was the one working all the late hours, doing the late shifts. Everything was totally reliant on me, and I completely flipped the business. And so it was self-sufficient. It didn't need me because of different systems and different strategies I put in place to allow that to happen. How to dramatically increase your company profits by a few simple tweaks, and I'm going to give you some strategies later on like that and give you a few examples of one guy that was able to add £22,000 to his bottom line. How to get out of your own way so your business can grow without you. This is a biggie for most entrepreneurs. Most entrepreneurs tend to hold on to so much of the business that it's actually them that's restraining the business from growing. So this is one area that we're going to look at a lot. The one system that is guaranteed to reduce frustration, overwhelm, and stress you. This is something I actually used today. I was very frustrated about one of our companies, about its lack of growth, lack of direction. Even though we're growing this year, I just feel it wasn't growing fast enough. And this is a system that I go through that allows me to blast through this frustration and overwhelm in order to get it to the next level. So guys, I appreciate anyone getting this call. So I have a little bonus for anyone. Anyone that knows me might know I have an office out in the Philippines in Cebu. We do some outsourcing. So you guys, anyone that stays on to the end is going to get my outsourcing book, my ebook. This is something that we used to sell. We've taken down off the market because we have to revise at the moment. So you guys are going to get a free copy of that for anyone that stays to the end. Just as an extra little thank you. This is something that I never advertised and never said to anyone because I appreciate anyone taking the time out. So again, guys, some expectations, interaction, going to be looking for some yes, no answers. So I'd appreciate, staying engaged throughout the whole webinar. Close off any distractions now. So put your phone in silent, close off Facebook. Guys, you're taking the time out here to listen to these strategies. So try get the most out of it, okay? Try and sit somewhere quiet, try and close off the door, close down the different browsers and try and just focus on this because I guarantee you're going to get a lot out of it. And take action, more important than anything else. Don't come here and not take action on the things that we're going to discuss, the strategies I'm going to tell you. Again, like I said earlier on, I've spent hundreds of thousands in investing within our own companies, figuring out what's working, what's not working on a digital landscape. So these strategies work. Make sure you use them. Take note and take action, okay? So who am I and why the hell should you listen to me? So Dean Gamble started my first business when I was 22, currently 29, I have 7 brands across a few different countries, 35 plus staff, revenues of 5 million plus per year. I've won 8 awards in entrepreneurship innovation, 2014 winning Ireland's best entrepreneur. I speak around Ireland on entrepreneurship, innovation, success, consultants. Some of you guys might have heard me speak live. I did a good few talks this year and late last year. I'll be mentioning all the major media outlets and the Sunday Independent were good enough to run a front page feature of me late last year, marked me down as a business leader of the future. And I'm currently working on a book on success principles. And as a result of that book, I've traveled the world interviewing some of the most successful entrepreneurs today, people like Ryan Dice of digitalmarketer.com. You can see Tony Robbins down there, Damon John from Shark Tank, Rich Schefrin, Russell Brunson, Andrew Chapman. These guys are all at the pinnacle of entrepreneurship, some of the best entrepreneurs in the world. And I have a big belief that there's no point in reinventing the wheel when it comes to entrepreneurship. There's no point in reinventing the wheel. You go out and you model off successful people, people who have blazoned that path before you and who are already successful at what they do. You model them, their personality, you model their behaviors, and that is how you become successful. Okay, you don't go out and try and reinvent the wheel, especially when you're starting out, because that limits how much success that you can actually have. Okay, so I just want to get an idea of the type of businesses we have here. So guys, just hit me in the chat box if you're a startup. Just hit me just type in startup if you're in the startup phase. See how many we have. Startup. Okay, we have a lot of startups. And who has an established business? Established businesses always tend to outweigh on these calls. Yes, we have a lot of established businesses coming in. So guys, just double checking in on my audio. Am I a bit rustly, or is everyone here able to hear me loud and clear? Loud and clear. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, just double checking, guys. Okay, well look guys, we're all here for different reasons, okay? Because some of you are here because you have the startup business idea and you're unsure how to get it to the next level. You're unsure how to do market validation. You're unsure how to go out and to get your first customers. You're unsure what way to move with it, because there's so many ways you can move a startup business. You're just unsure what steps to take in order to guarantee the success of that business. Some of you here because you have that established business. You've hit a ceiling of complexity and you're unsure how to get it to the next level. You've a systems problem. The business is reliant on you. You have a customer's problem where you seem to be hitting a certain ceiling of complexity and you can't get over that in order to open out and expand your market in order to grow the business. And that's fine. We're all here for different reasons, okay? And that's why I'm here. I'm going to show you how to get from where you are, point A, to point B, where you want to be, okay? Because where you are now is not where you want to be in a year's time, okay? And I'm going to show you how to bridge that gap, how we're going to fill that gap with a new skill set. Because can we agree, guys, in order to get from point A to point B, we have to acquire a whole new skill set. Can we agree with that, guys? Do you think we have to acquire a new skill set? Yes, we do. We have to acquire a new skill set to evolve our business. Because your business can only grow as fast as you or as slow as you. So you have to be learning. You have to be outskilling your business the whole time, okay? But once you have these skills, once you pick up these business skills, everything else becomes so much easier, okay? Because fundamentally all business is the same. So no matter what business you go into, you'll be able to look at the business and you'll be able to know its strengths, its weaknesses, its opportunities, and you'll be able to look at a business on a very strategic level and know exactly what to do with that business in order to get the absolute maximum value, output, profit of that business. Okay, so it's worth investing in these business skill sets in order to get the absolute most out of it. But there's a sad thing about these webinars, guys. There's a sad thing about these webinars. Of everyone that's on this webinar here today, only 20% of people is actually going to go and apply this stuff. 20% of people. Okay, 80% of you are just going to go back to your normal life. You're going to do nothing about these strategies and tactics that I'm going to teach you. And of that 20% that's going to go and apply these, in 2 weeks' time, another 80% is going to fall off that 20%, which is going to leave 4%. So only 4% of people is actually going to follow through on all these strategies. Okay, 4% of people. And that's why 4% of the world's population hold 55% of the world's wealth. And that's a known fact, guys. I took that off Forbes magazine. 4% of the world's population hold 55% of the world's wealth because they get it. They know what it takes in order to be successful, okay? And what's one of the key attributes between successful and non-successful people. One of the key attributes, guys, is speed of implementation. Is how soon you hear something to how quick you can implement that in your business. So if I hear an idea today and if I implement it in my business tomorrow, the compounded effect over the course of a year will be incrementally a lot more than a person that implements it in 2 weeks' time or in 4 weeks' time. Okay, so that's important, guys. These strategies have a compounded effect. That's why it's very important to implement these as soon as possible. Because if you don't, what's going to happen? You're going to see another opportunity. You're going to see another tactic. You're going to see another strategy, and you're going to get blindsided by what I've discussed, and you're going to go chasing something else. You're going to go down another rabbit hole. You're going to lose focus. Okay? So it's important to stay focused on these strategies and implement them as fast as possible. But there's a few other marked differences between successful and unsuccessful people. Okay? So successful people, they accept responsibility for failure, to set goals and life plans, always looking to push themselves to the next level, to keep a journal, being critical of their thinking, read every day, always looking to improve themselves, always looking to learn, always looking to get themselves to the next level. They're continuously learning, guys, because if you aren't continuously learning as a business owner, if you aren't increasing your knowledge and expanding your knowledge, your business won't grow either. Because your business is a direct reflection of you, okay? And then we have the unsuccessful people that blame others for failure. They don't set goals. They say they do, but they don't, okay? They fly around by the seat of their pants. They say they keep a journal, but they don't. Fly by the seat of their pants. They don't know what they want to be, don't know where they're going. They're lost, okay? So guys, who here has ever hated their job? Hit me a hell yes. Anyone here that has ever hated their job? Hell yes, hell yes. Booyah. Okay guys, that was me back in 2010. So I'm going to quickly tell you my story, but there's actually a lot to be learned from my story, and it's not something that I was very comfortable telling at the start until I realized how much you can learn from this, the story and my life, what I went through and when I was originally starting the business. And read between the lines of what I'm saying here because you can take a lot from it. So that was me back in 2010. I was sick of my job, and I walked into my boss's office and said, look, that's it, enough, I'm quitting. And just to take a step back before that, in 2009, I was finishing up college, and like any broke-ass college student, one of the first things I did when I went online was typed in how to make money online. I wanted to figure out this whole online game in order to make money. And I can safely say I was scammed on every single internet scam there was going at the time. I did everything. I tried to sell on eBay. I tried to do affiliate marketing. I was doing all these surveys, trying to make money. I went through everything. But one of the things I really did understand and figure out was if I wanted an online business, I was going to have to know how to design a website. So one of the first books I ever took out of the library, funny enough, was actually a book on how to design websites, even though I was studying construction management. And I said to myself, okay, maybe I'll try design a website selling house plans. And there was no one in Ireland doing it. There was a few companies doing it in Ireland. And when I looked at the market, I was thinking, okay, because I have the construction management degree, because I can design the houses, maybe I could do this. But then I looked at the legalities of it. I wouldn't have insurance. I wasn't qualified enough to do it. So I decided to take a step back and decided to sell garage plans instead. Okay, so a big step back. But what I did wrong here was I never researched the market to see was there a market there online. Were people actually selling garage plans? Were people looking for it online? So I put loads and loads of work into this website, and I pushed it live, and nothing happened. I had no sales, I had no traffic, I had no customers, okay? I'd done no market research. So I was a failure, and I left college with my tail between my legs, and went off and I got a job as a project manager managing a crew of 30 people all over Ireland. And while I was working as a project manager, I still wanted to get my teeth into something else. I was still very passionate about entrepreneurship. And I seen an interview about two guys in the UK, and they'd started a website doing stag and hen party packages. And I said to myself, maybe I could do something like that here. So I researched the market here in Ireland. I seen there was a company doing it. I did some competitor analysis of them. They weren't doing a very good job of replying to emails and to the sales, and I felt I could do something better myself. So I launched the website stagit.ie. That's what it's currently looking like today. It didn't look like that back then. I whipped out the book on how to design websites, and I went back to work. I stayed up late every single night, working till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, did 1 or 2 hours before going to work. I did absolutely everything, and then I pushed it live, and again, nothing happened. I had no sales, no customers, no cash coming in, there was no traffic coming to the website. And I was thinking to myself, surely if there's a market out there, if that other company in Ireland is doing it, and these other companies in the UK are doing it, surely I can make something of this website. And so I said, okay, if I'm serious about this, I have to find people who are successful at this that will allow me to really grow the business. And so what I did was I came across a company by the name of StomperNet, and StomperNet taught entrepreneurs how to start a successful business online. Now, funny enough, this company actually went bust a few years later, but with StomperNet, they taught you everything about SEO, AdWords, social media, everything you need to know in order to start a business. But the only thing with this company was it was $800 a month. It was a big amount for me to be paying every month. I was only on a salary of about €400 a week back then, so it was a 2 week salary a month. And I said to myself, do you know, Dean, if you're serious about starting this business online, if you're really serious about starting this business online, you have to be willing to learn from the best in order to sign up for these mentors that are already successful, because that's going to guarantee my success. Okay, and I took that gamble. I took it and I signed up for StomperNet, and I learned absolutely everything there was to get a website ranked in Google, to get traffic to the website, everything there was, social media, AdWords, and I put in the hours. I worked my absolute ass off trying to figure this stuff out. And I'll never forget, I was going on holidays with my girlfriend to Croatia. And before we went on holidays, I made some changes to the website in order to increase the conversion rate, to get more people filling out the contact form. And when we got out we were staying on a little island in Croatia, and we got out to it, and I realized there was only one internet cafe in the entire island, and there was no internet in any of the hotels. So I had a break from the whole internet business, and the whole week I was wondering, I wonder how the website is getting on. So while we were waiting for our taxi to bring us to the airport, I said to my girlfriend, I'm just going to run down to the internet cafe to have a look at the website. I would check my emails, and I ran down, had to look at my emails, and lo and behold, I was after getting a bunch of requests for people looking for these stag parties. And at that point, I knew I was on to something. There was, in the space of a week, we had 20, 30 emails of people looking to do these different stag weekends. And I went back to Ireland, went back working in the company, and I'll never forget, I used to sit working in my cubicle, and I used to have my mobile phone from the website in my laptop bag, and it used to be flashing during the day of all these customers ringing looking to do business, and I used to never answer because I was in work. And one day I had a really bad day at work, and I stormed into my boss's office, and I said to him, thanks very much for your job, but I'm going to move on. I didn't really say, screw all you idiots, I quit this stupid job. That was what I was thinking in the back of my head, like any of us would be when we're going into to hand in our notice. But no, I didn't imply it. We left on good terms, and I moved on. And I started the business stagit.ie, and it took off very quick. I focused solely on the sales and marketing. I started to hire my friends. I started to hire my family. The first office I ever had was in the corner of my bedroom. The second office I had was in the sitting room of my girlfriend's house. The third office I had was we actually started renting out something. That's when I started taking in all my employees. And business took off for us. Business really took off for us. And before I knew it, I was picking up awards for the growth, for the innovation we had. And what I decided to do then was I decided to replicate it and to start another business doing the exact same thing except for hen parties. So Hennet.ie did the exact same. We spun it out. We got it ranked in Google. We did our SEO. We did our AdWords, did our Facebook, did all our social media. But the thing, what was happening then, because these were so successful, the business was very, very busy, okay? I was caught up. The business was totally reliant on me. Anytime there was a problem, everything came back to me. Anytime there was a problem with a supplier, a problem with a customer, it was all coming back to me. And I'm sure a lot of people here can relate to that diagram. So you're in the middle and absolutely everything is coming back to me. And things were stressful, okay? I was working the late nights, doing the early mornings, frustration, stress, overwhelm every single day. And I was thinking, you know, this isn't what starting a business is about. Starting a business is all about being financially free. It's about being time free so you can do what you want when you want it. That's what it's all about. And I said, surely there's a better way this can be done. Surely there's a way I can go out and really grow the business without being stressed, without being overwhelmed, without being frustrated. And that's when I went to my research and to find someone that had done something similar to me. And that's when I came across a guy by the name of Rich Sheffrin. And Rich Sheffrin no longer does the mentoring or coaching, but with Rich, he was launching his coaching program, and this was probably back in 2012, maybe 2011. And with Rich, again, Rich was a big gamble for me. Rich was a very successful entrepreneur. He had a number of successful businesses under his belt. He now did the coaching. That's where he wanted to be, and that's where his business evolved. But the thing with Rich, and it's like going back to StomperNet, is he was very expensive. He was $1,600 a month. He was an American. And I was thinking, okay, this guy is really expensive. How can I afford to do this? And I said to myself, do you know, Dean, if you're serious about having successful businesses, if you're serious about really doing this, I have to be willing to pay these people in order to learn from them, in order to speed up my success so I can get to a successful place much, much faster. Because I could get there. I could figure it out over 2 or 3 years, but that's 2 or 3 years. Okay, so I took the gamble. I signed up for Rich's mentoring program, $1,600 a month. I am still signed up to it to this day. It was by far one of the best investments I ever made myself. Rich taught me all about the inner game and the outer game of entrepreneurship. He taught me all about strategic entrepreneurship, not to be a tactical entrepreneur. He taught me everything in order to be strategic and not tactical. How most entrepreneurs in the world, they're opportunists. They're always looking for different opportunities in order to grow their business. But that's not being strategic. Only strategic entrepreneurs win, okay? And when I did all this, business started to become very easy for me. I was able to systemize, automate the stag and the hen business. I was able to completely step away from that. I brought in a manager. I then went out and I started another business, the group system. With the group system, this is a funny story how I started this business, and there's a lot to be learned from this. We designed a piece of software for a stag and hen party business which could manage group bookings for our websites. And I said to myself, okay, surely hotels would want a similar system to this. They have lots of group bookings as well. So I went down to a hotel in Waterford. I went in and I sold them the idea of what I thought the software would do. We had to still design the software, it wasn't done, so I made a PowerPoint demo of what I thought it would do. And they were happy enough. They thought it'd be a big asset to their business. They thought it'd solve a lot of frustration, overwhelm, confusion for them. And they signed up for the software, even though it wasn't built. They gave me the credit card details. I then went and I did this with a second hotel. I got them to sign up for the software before it was even built. And I'll never forget, I went out to the car after I signed up the second hotel, and I rang my programmer back in the office. I said, Gian, we actually better start designing this software. I have 2 hotels after buying this office. We better start moving on it. And so we designed that software. The software took off for us. That's the one that allowed me to win Ireland's Best Entrepreneur. We sell that to hotels and activity centres all over Ireland and the UK. I still have it to this day. And you know, that was purely an idea, and I sold hotels on the idea before I even built it. Okay. I then went and I did it with another business, Kinnegad Gym and Fitness Classes. This is the business that we're selling at the moment. And with this, I had a big unit next door to our office in Kinnegad, and I used to rent it out to fitness instructors. And I was chatting to one of the fitness instructors one day, and they were trying to reduce the rent that I was charging. We're saying we're not getting enough business. So I asked him, how much marketing are you doing? He said, we're doing leaflet drops. I said, okay. What else are you doing? I said, we're doing leaflet drops, that's it. And I said, okay, that's all you're doing. You're going to fill all these classes with leaflet drops. Like, yeah. And so straight away I knew that was the problem. They weren't marketing the business right. So I said, okay, these guys want to reduce the rate. Maybe I just boot these guys out and start my own fitness studio. And so what I decided to do was I went back into my office. I set up a page called Kinnegad Gym and Fitness Classes. I wanted to test the market to see was the potential there. I had a unit. I had no equipment. I could get probably fitness instructors if I wanted. And I put an ad up on Facebook and I sent it to all my friends in Kinnegad and said, hey, there's this gym opening up in Kinnegad. And I let the page go viral. Within a week, we had almost 1,000 likes on the page. I was getting loads of messages every single day going, when is the gym opening? What times? What type of class are you going to have? And so I was after validating that this was going to be successful before I even started it. Everyone was asking me all these different questions about when the gym was going to be open. So I knew that there was demand there before I even invested any capital, any energy, any focus into actually starting the business. So that was the market was validated for that business. I then went up and I set up a sales funnel. And a sales funnel was something I put in place in order to bring customers in every single day in order to turn it into a successful gym. I then brought in the right team so that the business wasn't reliant on me. They're bringing in the right fitness instructors, bringing in the right manager in order to manage the studio. I then put the right systems in place so the business could run without me, and so the business could run for the employees without it being very stressful and without them being totally reliant on me. Okay, so that we still have that to this day. We're currently selling that at the moment, and that was just a prime example of how you can go out, validate an idea before putting in any capital. Okay, very successful idea, very easy to do. I then went and I did it with another business. So Go Irish Tours. With Go Irish Tours, this is bringing American, Canadian, Australian tourists into Ireland. And one of my employees came to me in late 2014 and said, that's when our quiet period for one of our businesses. She felt there's an opportunity in the tourism market that we could bring in American, Canadian, Australian tourists into Ireland. I said, okay, let's test the market. Let's put out an MVP. So we put out a one-page website. We sent some Google AdWords to this, and we figured out people start downloading an ebook. And we figured out, okay, there's a market there. People are downloading this ebook about traveling around Ireland. Okay. We then said to ourselves, okay, let's take it to the next step. Let's put together a 5-page website. It's very similar to the website that's currently there. We had 5 pages. And people start inquiring about all these different packages we had all over Ireland. I said, okay, there's definitely potential here. We then officially launched the business in April of last year. I brought in the people with the right experience, the right team in order to run this business that had a tourism background on their CVs. Okay, so I went out and I validated the market. I put a sales funnel in place in order to bring in customers on a daily and a weekly basis. That I was bringing them in on demand. I put the systems in place so the business wasn't reliant on me. I then brought in the right team of people in order to manage that business, so the business wasn't reliant on me and it was reliant on the managers. Okay. Between April and the end of last year, that business did 700,000 in revenue. We took on 6 full-time employees, and that was a big realization for me on how to strategically do business. That business this year, in the first 3 months of this year, we did 750,000. This year, we'd probably do 2.5 million on that business. And that business has very, very little involvement for me. And it was a big realization for me that there's a very strategic way you can do business. Okay, there's a very strategic way you can do business in order to get the absolute most out of it. And I ended up going out and starting a few other businesses as well in the corporate events, another stag company in the UK, the one we're on talking about here today, EntrepreneurSuccess. And as a result of that, I formulated a system, and this is the system that I train people in our company on. This is the system I train our managers on. Okay, and this system allows us to look at a business on a very strategic level and know exactly what's the opportunities, its weaknesses, and how much we can grow that business. Okay, so whip out the pen, piece of paper. This is what I call the 6 steps to a highly successful, profitable business. So definitely, guys, whip out your phone and take a photo of that. This is something that's taken us years to put this together. A lot of investment went into this. So at the very bottom, you have success mindset. If you don't have the right mindset, you're screwed. Simple as that. If you do not have the right mindset as a business owner, you will not move very far at all. And this is one of the core foundations that we focus on for anyone within the business in order to get them right. Okay, your next one is starving market. I make the definition that this is a starving market and not just any market, because there's a big difference between a starving market and a market. A market is like any market that you can go into. But the only way that you can clearly distinguish between a starved market and a market is a starved market really want your product. They're coming to you with their cash in their hands. And we need to make that distinction nice and early in order to guarantee that your business is going to be successful. One of the biggest reasons that businesses fails on initially is because the business owner doesn't go into the right market. The next one is sales funnel. This is one of my biggest strengths. Having a predictable, scalable sales funnel in place in order to grow your business, okay? Any business that is totally reliant on referrals or word of mouth is not a real business in my eyes. It's a lifestyle business. It's never a business you'll be able to sell for any massive capital. The only really successful businesses are businesses they know their numbers, who are willing to pay a certain amount for a lead because they know they can turn that into a customer. And this is something I'm going to go into later on. Then we have systems. So having the right systems in place so the business isn't totally reliant on you. Bringing in the right team. So having the right team in place that they'll grow the business and it's not you growing the business. You're not the one driving every day. You have a team in place that's going to do this. And then, of course, what I think is talked about the least amount in Ireland, and it really, really frustrates me, is cash. How much money can you make within this business as a business owner? Because we started a business for a reason, and it wasn't for sleepless nights. It wasn't for frustration. It wasn't for dealing with employee crap. It was to become financially free and to become time free. And that's the reality of it. Anyone that says other than that is talking crap in my eyes. Okay, so there's different strategies that you can use as an entrepreneur in order to get the most amount of cash out of the business and to maximize the business. And this is something we're going to talk about later on. So I'm going to go into these a bit deeper. I'm going to give you an overview of it so you can get a much deeper understanding of these. So success mindset, okay? Success mindset is one of those taboo subjects. I think if you went home and you said to your family and friends that you're working on your success mindset, they'd probably think you're stone mad, okay? They'll probably think you're crazy and they're going to sign you up for the mental home, because I think everyone here, I think we can all agree, business is 20% mindset, 80% mindset is 20% mechanics, okay? Business is 80% mindset, is 20% mechanics. So what goes on in your head is a total reflection of what's going on around you. Okay, and that's why it's very important that you have full control over your mindset in order to completely control your surroundings. Okay, because when you start to realize this, when you start to realize that business is 80% mindset, that's 20% mechanics, you'll start to see yourself as the biggest asset in the business. You'll start to see yourself as the biggest asset within the business. It's not what position on the street you're on. It's not the product line you have. It's not the, where you're ranked on Google. The biggest asset in any business is the business owner. It's the person who's driving that business. And when you start to realize this, you start to look at yourself on a whole different level. You'll start to invest in yourself. When you start to invest in yourself, you're going to start learning. You're going to start learning. You're going to start bringing ideas to the business. When you have ideas to your business is going to naturally flourish as a result of that. Okay. Tony Robbins has a great quote: "You are the master of your own ship." Your inner world is a reflection of your outer world, and your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So it's very, very important that you have full grasp of your mindset, because you won't get very far without it. Okay. So who can tell me what tends to be the biggest bottleneck in any business? Can anyone hazard a guess in this? Is it cash? Is it finance? Is it employees? Is it marketing? Is it product development? What have we got here? So we've cash flow, we've discipline, we have a few people that's on the money. Consistency, I'd like to say time, motivation, marketing. Okay, so guys, the biggest bottleneck in any business is actually the business owner. It's you, the person that owns the business, okay? Because the business can only grow as fast as you grow. And when you realize that you're actually the biggest bottleneck in the business, you start to look at your ways to remove yourself from the business. Because you could look at a frustration, a challenge, or a problem, and you could think that's the bottleneck within the business. And I could look at that situation, I'd be like, no, that's not a problem. The problem is how you're thinking about the problem, okay? And we're getting a bit deeper here on the whole thinking level of things. The bottleneck in any business 99% of times is the business owner, and it's how they comprehend the outer environment, the physical environment, okay, how they perceive things that's going on around them. And that's why it's very important that you have full control over your mindset in order to not allow that to happen. If you are conscious of this, you will seek third-party advice. You'll go talk to other people in order to stop that from happening. Okay, so who here read my emails on goals? A few would have been on it. So yes, true. Okay, I did. Yes, so a lot of you guys would have read my emails on goals and just how important your goals are. So you need clarity on your goals, okay? You need absolute clarity on your goals. If you don't have clarity on your goals, you don't know where you're going. You don't know how you're going to get there, okay? The reason all you guys were able to get this call this evening because I told you when the call was going to be on, and I told you how to get on the call, okay? It's no difference with your goals. You figure out where your goal is, when you want to achieve it by, and then you figure out how you're going to get to. I said in the article, if you're going on a trip to London or Barcelona or wherever it is, you're going to figure out what time you get the bus to the airport, what time you have to be in the airport in order to check in your bags, what time you're going to get from the airport in Dublin to Barcelona, what buses you have to get there. You plan out your whole journey, you map it all out so you know exactly what needs to happen, when it needs to happen. Your goals is no different. You need to have an exact map of the journey you're going to take, mapped backwards from the destination in order to get there, okay? And I have a big saying, and this is something that's going to strike a chord with a lot of people, is you either live your own goals or you're going to live other people's goals. And you could take this a step further, is you're either going to live your own goals, you're going to be a slave to someone else's goals, okay? If you don't have goals, I guarantee you're living other people's goals. You're living your boss's goals, or you're living the car you get into, you're living, Volkswagen's goals. The food you eat, the restaurants you're going into, you're living other people's goals. I know that's going very deep and detailed on it, but sometimes you have to do that in order for people to understand it. Okay, so if you understand this and you have your own goals, you can then use other people as a vehicle to get to your goals even faster. Okay, you can use them as a vehicle to get your goals even faster. So guys, what are all growth companies considered? Can anyone hazard a guess? What are all growth companies considered? What type of company are they? Okay, any company, innovative, marketing. So all growth companies are considered learning companies. Okay, they know the difference between success and failure is actually what they don't know. Okay, the difference between success and failure is what you don't know, because as silly as this sounds, you don't know what you don't know. So you have to bring in the right talent, the right skills, the right employees in order to guarantee the success of the company to bring it to the next level. That's why you've all these big companies, they invest 3% of salary in training and development of each of their employees, because they realize in order for the business to grow, their employees have to be developing themselves. They have to be bringing their mindset and open themselves up in order to grow. Okay, and there's different types of information you can take in, because there's so much information out there, and this is why a lot of people are on this call, probably because it's information overload. It's what information do I actually use, what's working, what's not working. Okay, and what we look to do is just in time instead of just in case information. Okay, just in time information is something that you read that morning and you can implement in your business that day. It's something you read in a book and you can implement in your life that day. Okay, just in case information tends to be where 95% of people fall in. They will read something and they won't be able to apply it within their life, within their business straight away. And this to me is a waste of time, because there's so much information out there, and because your time is so limited as a business owner, you have to be very conscious and critical of exactly where your output goes. So for everything you read in the morning or you're learning, unless you can apply it in your business that day, you need to park it. Okay? I have hundreds of books, and probably 70% of them I could have only read a couple of pages in them. I went in, I extract exactly what I want to get out of that book, the answer I'm looking to find, and then I move on to the next one. Okay? So how do we learn? What's one of the fastest ways to learn is having mentors, masterminds. Mentors that can personalize a response back to you based on your situation in order for you to get the maximum output and success as a result of that. Okay? Having a mastermind, having the right network of people that you can pick up the phone and you can call and say, hey Dean, I'm having this problem in the business. I know you went through something similar. Can you give me any advice? Okay, very important to have the right network in place. So your morning routine. You win or lose your day in the first hour of your day. Who can agree with me on that? A lot of you would have seen my emails about the morning routines and how I'm a big believer in the morning routines. So Claire, oh yeah, Alan, definitely. That's it, guys. So definitely the morning routine is it's a big part of your day. You just totally set the tone for your day. Your health, your wealth, your goals, priorities, family, that's when you all set that tone for the day, okay? So Jim Rohn has a brilliant quote. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Okay, who here can agree with that? You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So there's a good chance if I was to get you to add up the salaries of your 5 most closest friends and you're to divide it by 5, there's a high probability you're going to be in around the same. Okay, if you were to go out and you were to hang around with Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Richard Branson out in Necker Island for a weekend, what do you think that would do for your thinking? It'd completely elevate your thinking to a whole nother level. You be coming off that island absolutely pumped. You're thinking, how am I going to start a business? How am I going to become as successful as these guys? However, if you're down in the pub with the lads and you're getting drunk, or you're out with the girls and you're gossiping and you're complaining and you're moaning, well then, you're going to bring that with you throughout the week. So it's very important to have the right network in place in order to catapult your success to a whole nother level. Okay, and going back to Tony Robbins, big fan of Tony Robbins, you must master your inner world before you can master your outer world. Until you can master your inner world, you won't be able to have a successful business. When you can fully grasp your inner world, you'll totally control your outer world and on everything, all the extremities that's around you in order to become totally successful. Okay, so our next one is market validation, guys. Sorry, starving market. Okay, how to have a successful business based on a starving market. Okay, and so one of the biggest reasons businesses fail is because the market they're going into is not starving enough. They don't want their product enough. Okay, and so some of the ways we can do market validation, if you have a business idea, this is more so for the guys for a startup. If you currently have a business and you're looking to expand for a new product line, some of these might strike a chord with you. So prototyping and faking before you make it, your MVP, your minimum viable product. Your PowerPoint demo, this is how I sold a software that's now, for a massively successful business. Okay, I started in a PowerPoint demo, HTML mockup, a rough looking website. Okay, explainer video. Everyone knows Dropbox. Dropbox was founded in an explainer video. It's now a massively successful company. Kickstarter campaign. I have a friend who started a massively successful business that's now all over Europe. He did one of the most successful Kickstarter campaigns in Ireland. He raised 125,000. He now hopes to raise 3 million next year. Okay, very successful business, very successful entrepreneur. Interviews, surveys. Okay. This is one I think everyone knows. Then we have the market research. Different ways we can do market research to make sure the market is there, that it's wanting to do business with you. Okay. So Google AdWords. Google AdWords is very powerful because it can tell you exactly how many people are searching for your product every month. That's powerful data, guys, isn't it? It's very powerful data. So it can tell you, exactly how many searching the different keywords they're using. It'll tell you the competition level. Is it low? Is it medium? How much competitors are paying per click? Valuable data, guys. This is amazing stuff. Okay. Then we've Google Trends. And what Google Trends will do, it'll tell you if the market is increasing or whether it's declining. If it's year on year, if it's increasing over time, you know it's a good market to get into. If it's declining year on year on year, you know it's a market you don't want to get into. It's a market, you know, you have to stay clear of. Okay. The next one is one of my most favorite tools. Is the one that I always love showing business owners. SEMrush. So who here has heard of SEMrush, guys? Have you anyone? No, never. Very few have used this. So guys, with SEMrush, what you can do here is you can go on and you can type in the URLs of your competitors and it'll tell you exactly where they're advertising. It'll tell you their SEO rankings, their AdWords. It tells you their display network. Everything you need to know to find out exactly where they're advertising their business. It's not powerful stuff, guys. It's not exciting software that you can use to grow your business. Okay, it's very, very powerful software. There's a few other softwares that I train people in use in order to find where their competitors are advertising. This is one of the reasons we're able to grow our company so fast. We will model what other advertisers are currently doing. Okay. If you're in the physical products business, Amazon, eBay, okay, you go on Amazon, you find the best-selling products. Maybe that's something you want to sell in your shop. Same on eBay, you find the top-selling products. Maybe that's something you want to do. I have a friend who has a very successful business, and what his business is, he goes on Amazon, he finds the top-selling products, he buys the product, he sees can he make a similar sort of product, he then goes out to China, he gets a similar product developed, and then he sells it on Amazon. Massively successful business, turns over a couple of million a year purely on that strategy. Forums, again, a very, very powerful strategy. Using forums to find out if there's opportunity for a business. Okay, what's the one thing everyone does in forums, guys? What's the one thing to do? To ask questions. They're frustrated, they're overwhelmed. You get to see what the questions are in the marketplace. Okay, so when you go on these forums and you read between the lines of what questions people are asking, you can find out if there's any opportunity. So I seen early last year, 2015, I was starting to build a house and I was trying to get quotes for different building materials online. And this is the story of how we launched another business, okay? And as a result of that, because we were trying to get quotes online for building material, we couldn't do it. I went in the forums. I seen there's a lot of frustration in the marketplace for other people that are trying to do this also. They were trying to get quotes from material providers in Ireland, in UK and abroad. So what we did, we put together an MVP, minimum viable product, a website. We spent 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday morning making it. We put it out on on Google AdWords. We got sent some traffic to it. We recently got our first few customers into it as of this year, and now we're in the next process of we're going to start look to raise money in that in order to turn it into a successful business. Purely because I seen in the forums there was frustration, there was problems. People were unsure. I figured out reading between the lines, okay, maybe there's possibility here. And we decided to launch a business as a result of it. Okay. Our next one, ClickBank, Captera. ClickBank, you go on ClickBank, you find the top selling products in different industries, in health, in fitness, in pets, in leisure, in meditation. It tells you on an information basis what the top selling products are. Okay. Captera is for software, higher level software. It'll tell you all the best selling softwares. You can go on here, you can read the reviews, what's good, what's bad. You can read between the lines and see can you design a similar piece of software that answers the problems and questions or the negative reviews to the people that's given reviews on it. A friend of mine has a very successful business out in America. And what he does, he goes on ClickBank, he finds the top selling product on ClickBank. He then goes to SEMrush and the similar web. He finds out exactly where these people are advertising. He then creates a very, very similar product. He models their product. Okay. He then sells that product online, sends all the traffic to it, and then he flips it and sells it as a business. He recently sold a business for 16 million, a vitamins company, purely with that strategy. Very, very switched on marketeer, very, very successful. And that's what he does. He goes out and he looks at different markets, he figures out top selling products, he sees can he model a very similar business, and then he goes in and does it. Okay. Facebook marketing, we've all used Facebook marketing, but very few people know actually how effective Facebook marketing is. The reason we have over 100 people on this call today is because of Facebook marketing. Okay, Facebook has 2,000 different data points on each person. 2,000 different data points of exactly what your likes are, what your dislikes are. Okay, I can do a search in Kilkenny of between women of the age of between 25 and 35 who like cats, and Facebook will tell me how many thousand women between the ages of 25 and 35 like cats in Kilkenny. Very powerful software when you know how to use it. You can go out and you can do market validation. Okay. Peter Drucker, very famous marketing and management consultant. Business is only two functions, marketing and innovation. Everything else is a cost. The day you started your business, the day you innovated. Everything else you do after that should be marketing. Marketing, 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 marketing. You should not be involved in the day-to-day run of your business all day, every day. You need to extract yourself from the business in order to grow it as much as possible. Okay, you need to be the person that's marketing it. If you're an accountant, if you're a block layer, if you're a beautician, the day you started your business, the day you innovated, you are no longer a beautician, you are no longer a block layer, you are no longer an accountant. You are now a marketeer. It is now your job to market your business. It is not your job to work on the tools within your business. You need to get very clear in that, because that's the difference between having a successful and an unsuccessful business, okay? So we following this okay, guys? Everyone getting some good ideas from it so far? Yes, 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 hell yes, very good. Okay, our next one, guys, is sales funnel, okay? I'm big into sales funnels. Sales funnels is the lifeblood of every single business, okay? Again, going back on what I said earlier, you don't have a predictable, scalable business unless you have a sales funnel in place, unless you're willing to pay €1 to get a customer because you know you can turn it into €10 down at the end. Okay, when you have a very good sales funnel in place, you can walk into your business every day and you know how much business you're going to have. Okay, when you don't have a sales funnel in place, you're going to be unsure. You're always going to be looking for the next customer. You're going to be overwhelmed, frustrated. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have sleepless nights. Okay, so our first phase in having a very successful sales funnel is the planning phase. Then we go into attract, nurture, convert, engage, and we go through these in a bit more detail. Okay, and in the planning phase, we find out what the gap is, where we are against where we need to be, and we work out our KPIs in order to reach the desired income that we want in the business. So, for example, if we want to hit a target revenue of 100,000, our average sale value is 500. This means we need customers. We need 200 customers. If our average conversion rate from leads into customers is 20%, that means we need 1,000 leads, okay? We need 1,000 leads. So if we were to break that down into how many leads we need per week, we need about 20 leads per week. If we break that down per day, we need about 3 leads per day. And that's how you break down your business, so you know exactly what needs to be managed throughout the whole funnel in order to make that business successful. Then we go into the attract phase. Where are we going to attract these people online? Is it SEO? Is it content? Is it AdWords? Is it social media? Okay. Where do we find these people online in order to bring them into our funnel and to send them down through it? A big belief that businesses have is they think they don't have enough traffic. Okay. A big belief is they can't get traffic to their website. I'm here to tell you, you do not have a traffic problem. You as a business owner, you do not have a traffic problem. You have a sales funnel problem. You don't have a sales funnel. When you have a sales funnel in place, you can get any amount of traffic in the world. It's as simple as that. Because you can go to AdWords and you can pay €1 per click because you know you're going to make €10. You can go to Facebook and you can pay €100 for advertising because you know you're going to make €1,000 as a result of that. You can go to Pinterest. You can go to Twitter. You're willing to pay, you know exactly how much you're willing to pay, but if you have a good sales funnel in place, you know exactly how much you're going to make. And that's the difference between a successful business and a lifestyle sort of business. a business that's going to struggle by, do bits here and there. A very successful business that can scale out on massive numbers is businesses that are willing to spend on advertising in order to grow their business, because they know for every €1 they invest in advertising, they're going to make €10, €20, €30, whatever it is. That's the reason we were able to grow our company so fast, because we've our numbers totally dialed in. Our next one is nurture. Okay, so when we bring them into the funnel, how do we nurture them from in order to bring them from cold, not knowing us, not caring about us, not wanting to do business with us, to warm, they're kind of liking to us, to hot, that they're willing to refer their friends and family. Okay, how do we do this? We do this through emails, Facebook posts, white papers, case studies, reviews. Okay, we have all these different strategies. Then we go into the convert phase. How do we convert them? We convert them through emails, calls, retargeting, CTAs, call to actions, incentives in order to take them off the fence, in order to convert them into a sale as quick as possible. And then we have the end of the funnel, engage, how we re-engage them, how do we loop them back into the funnel in order to make more money out of them, how do we extract the most amount of value out of them in order to make the most amount of money as a customer. Okay, we engage and we do this through reviews, word of mouth, repeat sales, cross sells, upsells. Okay, again, I truly believe you do not have a predictable business unless you have a sales funnel in place. And I just want you to imagine for a second, okay, that you have so many people looking to do business with you that you had to close your doors. You have so many people looking to do business with you that you had to close your doors. Okay, that you're just overwhelmed with leads, you're overwhelmed with business, that your staff actually can't manage it because it's so much. Because that's the exact problem that we had in our business about 6 weeks ago. My manager came screaming into my office and he goes, look, whatever you're after doing, you need to stop it. I'm frustrated, the girls are stressed out, we can't manage all this business, Dean. I was thinking, okay, look, we'll turn it down, we'll dial it all down. We had to dial down our marketing because the girls in the office, the manager, they were getting way too many leads, okay, and they couldn't manage them. Okay, what would that do for you and your business if you had too many leads that you had to turn the customers away? You had to try, and our biggest problem for that business at the moment is trying to hire in people quick enough. And that's the joys of having a very successful sales funnel in place. One that you can pay €1 for a lead because you know you're going to make 10, 20, 30 euro out of them. Okay, when you have a good sales funnel in place, it makes your business a joy. You can make 10, 20, 30,000 a month. That business in particular, you know, it's doing revenues of about 250,000 per month. Our other businesses are doing between 200 and 500,000 per month because we have very solid sales funnels in place in order to really grow the company. Okay, our next one, systems. Okay, systems was a big one when I was putting in all them nights, getting in the early mornings. I was frustrated and I was overwhelmed. Okay, when you have systems in place, your business is a joy to work in. There's less stress, there's less overwhelm. Everyone knows where to go in order to find out how everything is done in the business. And when you don't have systems in place, everything is reliant on you. Okay, everything's in your head, your employees rely on you. That's why it's very important to have the right systems in place in order to grow your business. Okay, and we've two different types of systems. We've reactive and we've proactive systems. Reactive system is a system that you put in place in order because of a problem that's only after happening that day. Okay, so a customer is ringing up, they're screaming, complaining about whatever problem that they're after having. You put a reactive system in place to make sure that never happens again. Okay, a proactive system is a system that you put in place in order to proactively hit something. So if you have an end of year target of 100,000, you proactively put systems in place in order to hit 3 leads per day in order to guarantee that you're going to hit 100,000 in revenue that year. All the proactive systems that's going to allow you to really guarantee that you're going to hit the output that you want to achieve within the business. Okay, so what do we want to systemize in the business? We want to systemize our management systems, how we manage, how we fire, how we hire, our culture, how our holidays are managed. Accountancy systems. Okay, this is a biggie. I know it's one thing that a lot of entrepreneurs and owners struggle with, but this is a biggie. Okay, how our profit and loss is done, how our labor efficiency is done, how we extract the most amount of money out of the business. Okay, sales systems, how we convert a customer from cold to warm to hot as quick as possible. Marketing systems. How do we bring in the right amount of leads in order to make this a very successful business, in order to hit our target for the end of the year? What's the marketing systems that we put in place for SEO, for AdWords, for the Google Display Network, for Gmail sponsored posts, for Facebook, all these different channels in order to grow your business? And of course, your product service delivery system. What systems need to be put in place in order to guarantee the output that would happen if you were delivering the product or service every single day yourself? You systemize this so a person knows exactly what way it has to be done, but also you systemize in such a way they know exactly what way it should not be done. Because when you make that distinction, it's very clear for an employee, okay? Our next strategy is our frustration strategy. Definitely, guys, take a photo of this. This is a very powerful strategy. So you state your frustration, okay? What is your frustration? You explore the frustration, okay? Where is it coming from? What's the underlying condition? So if I hire a new marketing manager and they can't get in enough leads for the business, the underlying condition there isn't that the marketing manager can't do their job. The underlying condition there is I didn't take the time to do reference checks on this employee. I didn't take the time to make sure they have the required skill set in order to bring in the right amount of leads in the business. So 9 times out of 10, the underlying condition tends to fall back to management. Okay, quantified impact. So how big of an impact is this problem, frustration having on the business? Identify generic solution in order to solve it. Okay, assess your commitment to solve it. Okay, so how committed are you? Is it something you're going to do? Is it something your management's going to do? Is it something you're going to get someone else to do? Define the specific solution. So what exactly has to be done in order to have the exact desired output to be achieved, and then implement a solution. Who's going to implement it? When's it going to be implemented? Okay. And when you have the right systems in place, this is what it allows you to do. So every single year I always travel to different countries, and you know, I've hit Austria, Vietnam, Cambodia, Dubai. You can see all the pictures there with me and my girlfriend. Every year I travel, every single year, because I have the right systems in my business that allows me to do that. I have several businesses and I can run them all off my iPhone. I have them all built into a piece of software called Asana. It lets me keep my finger on the pulse completely, okay? Very, very powerful strategy. Guys, when you have systems in place in your business, this is what it allows you to do, okay? I went traveling a few years back for 7 weeks. And one of the biggest panic phone calls I got while I was away was from one of the managers in the business saying, Dean, we have too much business. We have to hire more employees. What are we going to do? I said, hire more employees. Off with you, okay? I'm out here enjoying myself. And he did. He went off and he hired more employees, and I came back and the business was after growing 56% since I left it, okay? And I wasn't there. I didn't have to be there to manage all that. That's the power of having the right systems in place, guys, okay? Our next one, A team. So having the right team in place. Bringing in the right people that's going to grow the business for you, okay? You can't do everything yourself. Understand that. You as a business owner definitely cannot do everything yourself within the business. When you have the right team in place, you can step away and the business can grow without you. When you don't have the right team in place, everything is totally reliant on you. When you're bringing in weak employees, it's going to extract time, energy from you, and you're going to be outputting your energy and focus on them, and it's going to be very much a drain on you, okay? So one of the best things I always recommend is when you have your mentors and your mastermind, right, everything else becomes so much easier, because I consider them as part of your team. I consider them as a key ingredient in order to have a successful business. Your mentors and masterminds, people have blazed that path before you that are already successful, that you can buddy up with, that you can learn from in order to guarantee you're going to be successful. So some of the lessons I've learned over the years: try hire someone 3 years ahead of the position. Okay, always try hire someone 3 years ahead of the position. Someone that has been there, done that, because what they'll do is they'll naturally bring that position to their skill set. However, if you bring in someone in with less than 3 years experience or they have no experience, you then have to train them in. You have to put all your energy, time and focus into them. They're extracting energy from you, draining you of your energy rather than them giving you energy, okay? And this is very, very important, especially when you have a lot of employees. Fire yourself every quarter. Best bit of advice I ever got years ago. Fire yourself every quarter. Track exactly where your time is going every single day. Note it down so you know exactly where your time is going. Okay. Then every quarter say, okay, 90% of my time, or I don't know, 40 hours I spent in the last quarter has went into accountancy. I need to bring in an accountant part-time. Okay. 20 hours spent in admin. I need to bring in someone part-time admin. You need to be constantly pushing away all the work that's stopping you from growing the business, constantly pushing it away, because it's always going to be loading onto your desk. You need to be constantly pushing it away so you can focus on stuff that's going to grow your business, which is marketing and sales. Marketing and sales is the only thing that's going to grow your business. Good employees are free. They're an investment. Okay, don't ever be afraid of paying a good salary, because a good employee will always bring in a much bigger return in the business when you have the right standards put in place in order to allow that to happen. Read Top Grade, and I highly recommend that for anyone who's be hiring. It's a very good book. It's the Bible of hiring and firing. Whatever you found wrong in an interview, 100 exits, that's what they're going to be like in real life. I know any business owners on here can probably agree with that as well. Always be on the lookout for good people, very hard to find. Personally, with me, I keep a spreadsheet. Anytime I meet someone that's very successful or that I think I could hire them at some stage, I write their name down a spreadsheet and I always keep in contact with them. Okay, very important. Good people are very, very, very hard to find. Okay, hire one really, really good person every year. Now, I know everyone in your business should be really, really good, but the reality is you want to hire in one person every single year that can move the dial in your business. One really, really good person that can bring in a lot of skill, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, that once they sit down at their desk, they can literally start making you money in the morning. Okay, bring in one solid person every year and it will really push your business forward. So our next one is cash. Okay, we all start a business for a reason. Is that to make the most amount of money possible. But most business owners here delete their accounts to their accountant, and that's probably one of the worst things you can do, because all the accountant is concerned about is paying revenue and keeping them quiet. Okay, but you as the business owner, there's loads of things you can do to drive the efficiency of your business in order to make the most amount of money possible out of it. Okay, so you need two sets of accounts. You need accounts for revenue, and then you need accounts for you, the business owner, for the entrepreneur, in order to run your business. Okay, so I want to just get into the profitability of a business. One of the big faults a business owner does is they don't pay themselves a market-based salary. A business owner thinks they're doing a business a favor if they pay themselves less than a market-based salary. So if you pay yourself 30,000, but if you got sick in the morning and you had to hire in someone, you'd have to pay them 60, 70,000. Okay. When you pay yourself a less than market-based salary, all you're doing is you're throwing off your accounts, you're throwing off your profit and loss. You're making your business look like it's making money when it's, in actual fact it's not. You're just paying yourself a crap salary. So from day one, you always have to try and force yourself to pay yourself the correct salary, because then you will optimize your accounts, your profits, as much as possible in order to get the most amount of money out of the company. Okay. So there's three different levels that you look at on a net profit basis, what you should be looking to make in a company. Net profit, you should be looking to make at least 15%. Personally, for any of ours, we aim to try and make 20%, which is giving us a 5% buffer for any problems, for any errors that we didn't see. Little things always crop up. Once you hit 10%, you're hitting break even. You need to start moving very fast. Okay, 10% is the new break even. Okay. 10% is like 0%. You have to consider 10% your break even. If you start dipping below 10% and you hit 5%, you're in life support. You're in big trouble. Okay. If your business, if something happens, your business, if you get some sort of a court order, or someone trips or falls and you have a court case up against you, that's going to put you out of business. Very important to be super conscious of these and have a way to watch these on a monthly basis. The worst thing you could do as a business owner is wait until the end of the year to find out how little money you made within your business. Okay. Our next one, the biggest cost in any business is salaries. The biggest cost in any business. So there's ways that you can optimize your salaries and optimize the productivity of your staff in order to get the maximum output and the most amount of profit out of that. Okay. So labor efficiency. So here's an example. So a quarter at the very top. So quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. If we have sales in Q1 of 1 million, Q2 of 750, Q3 of 500, and Q4 of 250. Excuse me. our salaries are 125,000 each and every quarter. Okay, they're 125,000 each and every quarter. In Q1, for every €1 we make in, so for every €1 we invest in salary, we make €8 in sales. Okay, so that's a good return. In Q2, for every one we invest in salary, we make 6 in sales. Okay, it's starting to dip. In Q1, for every one we invest in salary, it's 4, and then in Q4, for every one we invest in salary, we're making 2. So you can see our salary is dipping throughout the year. So this should tell you when you need to cut staff hours, when you need to move staff to new projects, when you need to keep them, in order to keep them at maximum productivity. This can tell you need to have this worked out to the day in your business in order to make the most amount of money. Because again, salaries is the biggest cost in any single business, so you need to have this totally dialed in. Your next one is your max salary cap. What's the max amount you can pay in for salaries in order to make your 15% net profit every single year? What's the max amount you need to pay in expenses, your max expense cap, in order to make your 15% profit every single year? And these need to be watched on a weekly and a monthly basis, so you don't get any nasty surprises at the end of the month or at the end of the year, in order to ensure that you're getting the maximum profit out of the business. Okay. So our next one is the power of one strategy. This is a strategy that we've used several times over the last few years within our companies, and every year it has worked. And anyone that has a business here, you can go away and use this strategy. I guarantee within 2 or 3 months you'll have made tens of thousands in extra revenue with absolutely no extra work. So what this strategy is if our price is currently 1,600, we do a volume of 2,000, overheads 500,000, cost of goods per sale is 1,100, with a net profit, keep things simple, of 500,000. If we increase price by 1%, increase volume by 1%, decrease overheads by 1%, and decrease cost of goods per sale by 1%. That's the difference at the end of the year, is 69,000. So you've made a difference of 69,000 purely on optimizing by 1%. Massive, massive numbers. Okay. This is a strategy that we have used every year within our companies, and it has always worked. I was afraid, I thought we'd be too expensive if we kept increasing our price every single year. We were able to keep growing our sales. It never affected our sales, even though we're increasing our price. Okay. So guys, with all this, that's all what you need to be doing. That's all what you need to be doing in order to grow your business. And where a lot of business owners really struggle with the how. How do you do this, Dean? How do you apply this in your business? Okay. So guys, would you like to hear of some details of a program that I've put together that's going to allow that to happen, to allow you to achieve that? Okay. Yes. Okay. We're all interested in this. So guys, the details of this program we put together, this is something I've been working on the last year. We've about 45 businesses gone through this at the moment. And what this is, in Module 1, we touch on the success mindset. We get you clear on your goals. We get you setting your morning ritual, exactly what you need to do every day in order to be the most productive possible. Time management, this is a biggie, how to be the most